Guys, this week, AwesomeCast Chilla joins us once again as we talk about open source WebOS and what are we going to exactly use that for. We talk about Windows 8 and the big transition coming up with that release. We talk about Xbox and content going there, and we talk about who's losing the most friends on social media. Is it you or is it Lady Gaga? All this and more. AwesomeCast.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Hey guys, it is the AwesomeCast, and oh, look, I'm over on the couch. Look at this. Look at this. I'm Michael Sorg, down here in the studio in Pittsburgh, PA, getting used to my different view. Hi, Chach.
Hi.
Hi, Chach. Chach is over there behind the board. There he is.
What?
We're switching up. We wanted to get Chachi back in groove with the new studio setup so that we can do the switcheroo thing here. So how you doing, Chach?
I am doing well.
Excellent.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yes.
I must ask you a question.
I got like this double mustache thing going on though, so I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes as much sense.
I need to confiscate my microphone.
And I can't get too close because I've already shocked myself twice on this thing.
Oh yeah, that mic will get you.
It gets you.
It'll
it's got
bite
some
you.
bite to it. Joining us from the internets, better internets than he had last week, is Rob De La Creta.
Hey Rob.
How you doing this
Hi.
week?
I'm really tired. I'm working too much, and this is my first time coming home during daylight for like a week and a half.
Well, that won't last too long this time of year.
No, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now that we're all depressed.
Mm.
You also, I think you have something on your camera, sir.
Do I?
Yeah. No.
Oh, there's like
the food in your mustache is not going away.
It's I see. There's a thing.
There's like a little spot.
Yeah. What is?
Right.
I don't know what it is.
All right, we'll just try to ignore it.
Right
and then
there.
Maybe
right?
I'll just blur it in post.
Just
or something. That'll be
just
fine.
blame it on a paint spot on your wall.
Just don't move your
Right
head in
there.
front of it.
Yeah, right there.
And of course, if you're on audio, you don't give a crap about what we're talking about. But also with us is Chilla joining us once again. How you doing,
Hey,
sir?
what's up?
At Chilla on the Twitters.
How's it going?
Good. What's new for you with you? This is your first time coming at us from the new place?
Yeah, that is the first time. Yeah, how's the connection?
It's fantastic. I said you
Wait.
guys look really good.
Oh,
What are you doing?
what's that?
What are you doing? Are you confused by the array of monitors in front of you?
Yeah, actually, I am because I have to keep looking left to right to look at the show notes and then look back to see if I can. I didn't move my head off.
Now
the
you know how
screen.
we feel when we're controlling the show.
I gotta ask you, did you run hardwire through your house?
No, it was a fail. It was an epic fail.
Uh,
We were actually going to rip down drywall to try to get it through. So it's all wireless end. Unfortunately, we were going to pull. There's 2 phone line drops in every room, so we were going to pull the phone line back through the wall with Cat5 taped to it, and the phone line is stapled to the studs every 12 inches.
oh man.
So, and there's cross studs coming down all the walls. So we actually tried to go up in the attic, drill down, and then run fish tape down, and that didn't work either. So I have a router and an extender on every floor.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
See, I asked that because I knew
That there is
I
some
know-
home
I
improvement
know-
going on here.
I know Chilla, so I knew that he would at least try to run
I did try.
hardwire to every single room.
And once something faster than wireless end comes out, I'll probably get that. Because multiple gig files across the network is slow over Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 5... Well, you have a Drobo, don't you?
Yeah, I have a Drobo.
Yeah, I just have probably 6 terabytes of drives.
But I'm
plugged
not
into
working
the
off
airport.
I'm not working over the network over the Drobo because I know I don't have I'm still on G.
Okay.
I don't even know if my router. I have the FiOS router. I don't even know if it supports N. I could probably
No, a buddy of mine called them to try to, because I have the one that does support N, but you can't extend it. They have some, like I tried using a D-Link extender and I tried using the Apple Airport Extreme. to extend it,
Yeah.
and it won't let you extend the network.
Yeah, it gets funky with that. There's a few different things. Like I can't get it to work on the Wii. I actually have a second Wi-Fi down here in the studio, and that's what like the Wii and the Roku box I think run off of.
And
Just because it wouldn't resolve they replaced it at one point because I had a bad router, and then the devices like those two just will not resolve through.
And then my buddy called them to upgrade his G to an N, and it's an extra $80.
Oh, geez.
So at that point, why not just buy another router and shut the Wi-Fi off?
But then you got to get one because, like they said that something wasn't coming through and updating because I unplugged the coaxial from the Mac because I was like, well, you have a network. Why do I need this coaxial? I figured it was for the on-demand, and I don't even have TV through them anymore. But I don't know. I still got to resolve that, But yeah, it's treating us good. I mean, we've got great connections here, multiple Skypes. We're doing real good here in the studio. So excellent. So let's get right into it.
Wait.
What?
Are you going to tell them where they can find us at?
Oh, yes. Hey, we're at
right there.
You can check us out. We're over at AwesomeCast.com. Like, this is weird because we're looking at you. You can email us at contact@AwesomeCast.com. We're also on Twitter at AwesomeCast. We're on Facebook. We're on Google+. So please drop us a line there. If you have any comments specifically about something on this show, please hashtag us AC121 so we can follow everything and all the conversation going on there. And also, you can join us here live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at live.sorgatronmedia.com. We got a chat room dropping all the time. Like the Wrestling Revolution has joined us. Bobby F. J-Town from the later show. My brother. Hey, Silent Ninja. And Chella's in there bouncing around as well. And sometimes Rob joins us in there.
Sometimes.
Depends
on what kind of mood.
Up for it. Sometimes. He's feeling sociable, So, excellent. Let's get with it.
DMs during the show, and they always make me laugh.
Yeah. All right. Now
it was awesome this time. It was a picture of a cat that said, "I had fun once," and I forget what else.
All right.
Hold on, I'm bringing it back up because I want to laugh again. Yeah, I had fun once. It was horrible, and it's a sad looking cat.
All right. In the news, I don't know. I was probably a little late getting news together for this week, so everybody bear with me and feel free to throw something in if you get anything you want to do. Oh crap! I just opened LibreOffice. This is all going to end horribly.
What did you do?
So something happened with WebOS in the past week, and I know Chilla's really excited about it. So while I wait for this to load so it'll go away, Chilla, can you tell us what's going on with WebOS?
So they released version 1.0, and it's all open source, which right now they showed it, from what I saw, they showed it running on a test device that looked like one of their touch panel PCs.
Now, there's a video. There actually is a video showing that off. If you can pull that up there, Chach, over on TheVerge.com. And I guess this was kind of a showpiece for it. Because one thing they talked about was... So my question is, like, what would this be good for? Because nobody's putting on phones, really. I mean, am I really going to format a computer and run this like I run an alternative thing like Ubuntu that I'm running right here on this old laptop? But this video, it really seemed like it could be a pretty good platform for, like, kiosk development, or I forget what else they kind of told us about.
What I could see it being, I mean, take your remote control, make it more of a touchpad and a keyboard.
Yeah,
like you're seeing some of the devices, and throw it on a TV.
Yeah. It could be like stuff like, this is the thing that goes in your internet fridge or something like that. Just another. Well, this is Linux. Is it Linux based or is it its own thing? I can't remember.
I think it is Linux based.
Seems like everything is at this point.
Because I know on the touchpad you can actually load Android on it because it's running the same processor.
Now this is this looks like one of their HP TouchSmart kind of PCs going on here, which it really makes sense because I mean this has been a touch device, between the Pre's and the what were they called, the touchpads. So that's cool that. How many desktop things do we have that are really kind of touch-centric like this to begin with? So it's like half the work's already been done for you if you want to drop a kiosk application on this for development. So, is there really anything else like this that you would do that with? I mean, other than just a bunch of iPads. I know, Rob, you have experience with that. I mean, is this something you think would be application for your field?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, like we have toyed with things like I spent some time hacking Android for a minute to see if we could use that for kiosk stuff. And WebOS is like, right now, like our problem would be that the time that we would have to invest in finding all of the ways to develop for WebOS for it to make sense are what's keeping us from using it.
Because it's another thing to get into.
Exactly. Like right now, we can do iPad, we can do Windows, we can do OS X, and we know, like it's one thing to know how to work on a car. It's another thing to know that the 1989 model of the F100 has a knock unless you hit it on the right-hand corner 4 times. And we know all that stuff for all the stuff we currently work on, and WebOS would introduce like a whole new thing for that.
This is kind of like in the game development, how like towards the end we know how to run, how to eke all the performance out of the Xbox, and now the Xbox 4 is coming out or 3 is coming out, and now we got to start and reinvent the wheel all from start again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kind of that thing. And plus, especially the way HP's been with this, I mean, can you really depend on this platform kind of surviving? I think there's a huge question mark on that.
The Wrestling Revolution in chat room said that he has a touchpad and that the WebOS was pretty decent as an OS, but there's nobody doing anything with it.
And that's a problem because
so he had to install Android to make it useful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I wish I would have looked at the show notes earlier because I would have tried to Skype in from the touchpad because Skype still works on it. There's a bunch of interesting things. I really liked how they integrated their phone with the device. You could text from the touchpad through your phone. You could pick up a phone call through your touchpad. The touchpad actually has a vibration piece in it, so it can alert you pretty well. I really liked the interface. The thing that surprised me was the BlackBerry RIM playbook stole some of its interface design from the touchpad. I don't know, the way everything integrated within the OS, you sign into Facebook, and then all of your Facebook photos show up in the Photos app. Gmail, like all your mail systems all show up in one stream. Mm-hmm. I really liked how everything just kind of came together. It didn't seem as disjunct. And I'm seeing that now more in Android and iOS. It's still not as integrated as I'd like it to be as it was on the WebOS, but who has a WebOS device? So
yeah. Well, it's some. Let's see. It's kind of said to the article. So, because the big thing was, this is not going to be. They say don't expect to get this running on your FireCell HP touchpad, which of course they sold like a few million of them, all their back stock, right? So there's a lot of them floating around out there, and they're still pretty decent devices as you're experiencing.
Those already have Android on them.
Yeah, they already have Android.
Interestingly enough, in one of the articles that I read, and I don't know if it was the same article that you had, they were talking about someone down in the feed actually said they had already downloaded the source code and had it running. It was rather laggy, but it was running on a touchpad.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be projects to get that thing worked out. So
yeah,
definitely. So.
It's just what apps will be available for it. Who knows?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, yeah. It's not going to have any kind of. I mean, especially this is going to be closed source. It's going to be not on the devices already out there. This is going to be a developer's thing. This is going to be the back end thing. You're not going to see. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get somebody put out and I can download it like I do Ubuntu and like throw it on an old laptop or something, or a newer laptop or an alternative, just to see something different. And the flow works for a lot of people. A lot of people really like that interface, like you do. So I'd love to just kind of drop it on an old laptop and see how it runs. See what the flow is. So.
I'd like to see it on a TV. I mean, I saw some devices where they were putting pretty much Skype in a webcam, where the webcam is just a USB device. You plug it into HDMI out. You plug it into your TV, and boom, you have Skype on your TV. Mm-hmm. I could see them taking and building some kind of set-top box, or do what Samsung does and build it right into the device. I think you could come up with a really good platform, because any of the interfaces I've seen for the smart TVs, I'm not that impressed with the interface.
Yeah. Well, half of them I've seen are a lot slower. especially when next to an Xbox or something like that. Like even dropping now, again, I'm running an old first generation hand me down Roku, but really just like even it feels slower next to like just popping up my Xbox and doing it through there. Just the interface wins every time. Sometimes I like using a Roku because I don't like booting up something that has like 5 fans in it. So the Xbox is loud. I don't know. Is the newer Xbox so loud?
It's a lot. I have the new black one.
Yeah.
So
do I.
Quiet.
I have like the old like first gen Xbox Elite Black.
Well, I mean, you can hear it.
Yeah. I
But
mean, it's
just like running a computer.
And now mine sounds like it's jet engine taking off when I have a CD in it, for instance. But that's why I'm so glad they had that option where you install it right to the hard drive to kind of minimize that a little bit. But still. So speaking of gaming, actually, Chachi, this is right up your alley. It's actually from InsertCoinToBegin.com, and I think
I wrote it,
and you're the writer of this.
Yeah, I wrote
so
this.
Microsoft is looking for original content.
They hired CBS exec Nancy Tellum to oversee content production at their new LA office that they're opening.
Okay.
However, that's the extent of the details.
Well, that's still something. But I mean, these guys, they've had for the longest time like their own thing with like Major Nelson's been putting his content on there. They kind of co-opted the Guild and had that on there. I think they're the only console to put it out there for free. It was like sponsored by Sprint or something like that. And PlayStation, I know PlayStation has something pretty like the Veronica Bellman had a show on there, and I think they have some other content going on there for maybe for the whatever they call their member services, or like your elite service or whatever you buy on there, like our Xbox Live. So this makes sense, especially as much as they're making a push for that to be a content box more than a video game box.
Well, they brought her because she's responsible for the current iteration of the stuff that's on CBS.
Yeah, it's good getting like an old.
The current lineup is something that she worked hard to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
So Microsoft is like, well, you've done it before, you can do it again.
And this is go ahead.
I haven't logged into my Xbox in a little while, and I know they have a Hulu app and they have a Netflix app and they have their own content. What I'm interested in seeing is personally, I don't see a huge drive to use or created content like YouTube hired on a bunch of people to go out and make TV shows and do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I've cut the cord. I don't have cable. I'm still going out and using Fox.com and CBS.com and NBC.com, and I'm watching the shows to catch up with what people are talking about at work. The old water cooler euphemism. So I just don't, until there's this mass amount of people that's their primary show source, I think they'd be better off trying to push out NBC, CBS, your over-the-air type channel apps, and let me do on demand through that.
And I agree. I agree completely with what you're saying. However, the thing that I'm looking forward to is to see if this is all, if it's at first going to be all gaming type content.
Okay.
If it's all game-based content, as in live gaming events and news shows, like gaming news shows produced as well as normal news productions, then I'd be interested for at least a little bit, depending on what the content is like.
Who owns G4 TV?
Comcast.
Yeah. I thought it was Viacom.
No, that's a Comcast one.
Oh, okay.
Comcast / now NBC.
Okay.
It used to be.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think it was always that they bought. I think Paul Allen had the Tech TV, ZDNet stuff that they brought in. So
because I heard that's going off the air, is it not?
Yeah, I heard it's not doing good there. Well, both their longtime guys, Kevin Pereira and Adam Sessler, both took off a couple months ago. So it was, the rats are jumping ship. So and that ship's been kind of going down for a while.
So this is the perfect chance.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's not only the perfect chance for something like Xbox, but it explains why we're seeing more interest by major networks in gaming-based content. Because, I mean, CBS is already in talks with the Major League Gaming organization to broadcast live gaming events.
Isn't that really funny? Because you look
However, I don't know if that'll change or not now that Nancy Tellem moved to Microsoft.
Well, you never know. The balls might already be rolling for
Right.
that. But isn't it interesting though? Because it felt like they did the Tech TV thing. They did the G4 gaming thing back when it was actually all gaming and not just cops and geek culture. Which yeah,
Oh, cops
I could
all
go.
the time.
What do you mean that
really?
Tuesday-
Cheaters and cops? Are you serious? What does this have to do with anything? At least give me reruns of X-Play. That's why I gave up
They
on
do
it
4
ages
hours
ago.
of Heroes on Tuesday nights. It's
Oh
awesome.
man!
Or
man.
if you subscribe to Netflix, you can do your own blocks and watch what you want to watch.
Oh, there's that too. There's too. But it's interesting that like guys like CBS are going to the gaming thing when we kind of looked at. It seemed like they tried to do these stations for video games, for technology, for geeks like us. They're just pretty much kind of gravitated to podcasting, anyways. Here, and trying to get a mass. It seemed like the audience was big enough, or maybe they weren't properly serving that. But now we have CBS that's going to try to serve that audience.
I think Twit, and I mean, Leo Laporte takes care of a lot of that. He was on Tech TV originally.
Yeah, and he really brought all of those. The only 1 million viewers or whatever they got on Tech TV is exactly what they need to make money on the internet.
Can I just point something out?
What's that?
You know why G4 TV failed? All right. Let's just take a small poll.
Where do I start?
Let's just take a small poll of the people right here.
Okay.
Sorg,
Yes.
do you have cable?
No.
Chilla, do you have
Nope.
cable?
No.
Hey, Rob, do you
Yeah.
have cable?
Nope.
That means 1 out of 4, based on this small survey sample, has cable.
And ideally, we are kind of the core demographic, aren't we?
We're supposed to be, but
I
you know
mean,
what? We're all going online for that
We're all
content.
yeah. It was before its time, before the internet could support something like that.
Right.
Well,
So-
and their online presence sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
the
it does.
interface is terrible. I'll tell you what. I'll be honest with you. Charge me $20 a month and give me unlimited access in iTunes downloads to all their content. I mean, as a person that I don't have cable, and I understand that I'm in this conundrum, and I'm trying not to borrow from others per se. So I'm looking at things like Walking Dead. I missed last season, so season 2 posted to Netflix. I'm already through 5 episodes. I'm trying to get all 19 episodes in by next week. And I'm probably going to pay the $43 for the iTunes downloads. I'll get them as soon as they come, as soon as they're off air, and I can watch them. And I'm paying for them, but I don't have cable. Give me some kind of subscription methodology where I can watch your TV shows a la carte,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a good chance I'm actually going to pay for it.
Well, I haven't looked at G4's website for a while. It is pretty bad.
Yeah.
This is like
I cringe
Low
every
rent-
time I open up.
I think I'm in a gaming news section. And it's like a low rent blog.
Yeah, I cringe every time I open up my Google Reader and see a news story that I want to read.
And then realize it's G4. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
it's
realize,
on G4.
well, I'm not getting much out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if the two, you had more than 2 nerd-based TV shows on your channel,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe you would do a little better.
Maybe.
Well, I think what may have even worked for them is they're not sourcing their. It doesn't look like they're sourcing their web video off of like YouTube or anything like a lot of other people do.
Right.
And I would have much rather. You know what? I'll flip through all their YouTube videos, and I would have watched it in one single source. But to go from page to page, try to watch the video that's choppy, it's not served well.
Mhm.
The page takes forever to render.
Mhm.
Source it with someone who knows how to do it well.
And thanks, Bobby, for reminding me. I didn't realize what they were going to do here. And I heard about this a couple weeks ago, but yeah, they're going to become like a GQ magazine with tech stuff thrown in, kind of thing. It's a high class men's channel, which is, to my answer to that is like, so we need another Spec TV. I know it's supposed to be a higher class, whatever, because of GQ. But still, do we really need another Spike TV?
I was gonna bash my head off the mic.
Well, I mean,
Then-
Spike TV makes a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you're not winning and carving out your own niche by being the geek channel. So you're gonna get into a larger niche and go head to head with somebody else that's already taken a large piece of pie, because the Spike TV is, like you said, making a lot of money. They have wrestling and boobies, and they're doing good in MMA. You know.
Well, I mean, they have 2 of their own award shows too on Spike.
2 now?
Yeah.
I know they have the VGAs.
Well, they have video game awards, and then they have
wasn't there like the scary movie one?
the
Like
horror
the Scream
movie.
Awards?
Yeah, the Scream Awards. So, I mean, that should show you how much money they're throwing out there.
That shows you they're doing the MTV kind of mentality with it, and they're doing really good with it.
Right.
So I mean, it is Viacom, so they definitely have a little bit of crossover there. So, yep. All right, that's enough of.
I was gonna bash my head off the mic when you said GQ, but then I realized what a horrible sound it would make for the audio.
I appreciate that.
Talking about Microsoft looking for content, their App Store sounds like it's in jeopardy too.
Oh, what happened there?
Windows 8 launches on the 26th.
Okay.
And much like Apple, they're looking at the mentality of, if you want to push out apps to your users, that you're going to go through their App Store. They're going to take 30%. I read the other day I think they had 2,000 apps in total.
That's not good for Windows.
No.
I'm pulling up a story to try to get caught up on this. I got one from the Next Web about the only 2,000 developer interest in Windows 8 is stagnant, opening new line of worry for Microsoft. Ooh.
When they were showing 2 numbers where when Windows 7 launched, all the people that actually participated in public betas and were already loading it on their machines, and it actually had a decent percentage of installation base, and they're showing that Windows 8, they gave that away in free product preview.
Chach, you have dropped the link there right next to that at the last Microsoft story in the doc if you want to bring that up. It really feels like, well, they kind of had to hit the reset button on development, didn't they? Because I mean, you just everybody could do whatever they wanted on Microsoft previously, and now you kind of threw a bunch of rules in a bunch of developers' faces that have done this for how long on this platform?
Not seeing it.
Might not have updated.
I'm seeing it.
It's on the right. But
so I agree with that, but if you're not ready, then you're not ready and don't launch. They should have thought about this.
But I don't think they can.
Months ago.
I don't think they can stop launch now, because they need that thing to go out there, because Intel's sweating, because they need to sell computers. They always have that drop right before the new version comes out. You need new machines to sell new computers. It's how it is. But I don't know. There's a real big question mark on this one. I mean, I think there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna look at this and be like, well, this is really confusing. What's Apple doing over here? Or what else is there? Oh, what's a Chromebook?
What's going to aggravate me is and I'm sure Chachi feels this pain. Think about all of the phone calls from all your friends that aren't tech savvy, and they bring home their new computer and it launches into a Metro interface, and then they're like, "What?" And there's two versions of Internet Explorer. Mm-hmm. So there's the Metro Internet Explorer and the desktop Internet Explorer. And I think you can only load plugins into the desktop side. So if you launch Internet Explorer from Metro,
it's so weird.
Use plugins.
See, now I remember they say this is the biggest thing since like Windows 95, which makes sense because you went from the DOS and like Windows was a layer on top of it, and that was way easier. It was a pleasure in comparison. What's that?
Here's a fun fact for you.
Mm-hmm.
The last time the Pirates had a winning season, Windows 3.1 was released. I'm sorry. You were talking about Windows 95. I had to bring it up. Continue.
That's all right. I lost my train. Oh, but then you got this, which is another thing, but another layer kind of situation going on. But it's not an improved situation. I think too many people are going to look at it like I miss windowing. I miss doing this. I miss Windows being Windows. Where the heck is the start button? We can figure it out. That's fine. But I really think the normal person, the people that will be calling you at your help desk, Chachi, I think you're going to be like, what did they do to Windows? Please roll me back. I think Windows 7 is going to be the new Windows XP because of this.
Yeah, it's
not to say that Windows 8 is bad in general.
No, Windows 8, the Metro interface is actually rather cool.
It looks impressive.
I like it.
I like it too. I think it's
but
great.
The problem is the general user is going to take 6 months to figure it out.
Yeah.
And until then, they're going to call
because
us.
it's not like I go from to XP to Vista to 7. Again, why do we name things this way? And it's like I hit the start menu and I look for a computer or my computer or something like that. I think it's funny. An IT instructor was showing us a system at a place I'm going to be at, and he actually kept saying my computer, and we were on Windows 7. There apparently is no my computer on Windows 7.
Sure.
So he's like, sorry, I'm in Windows XP days apparently. But still, those kind of things. You look for that computer icon. You look for this. We've been trained for how many years? Like how much? Even when we went from Windows 3.1 to XP, we were trained to look for this icon, look for the file manager, look for that. Same thing happened. I think. Obviously a little different. Apple's a little better about letting things go, but going from OS 9 to OS 10, there was a big change. Like, what do I do with all these funny icons at the bottom now,
Well, what it would be, the OS X translation is as if Apple came out with Mission Control, that thing that nobody uses.
I've been using it a lot lately, actually.
Weirdo. But it's as if they came out with Mission Control, and instead of saying, like, this is something you can access via a shortcut or via a swipe, and it's there, and if you want to use it, you can, they say, no, this is how you do it. Forget the dock, forget everything that we've trained you for since OS 9. This is now how you're going to use a computer.
Although it is funny, because when you look at the way Apple does things, they are retraining you. But they do it. They do it in a way that isn't obtrusive. They're not. Yeah, they're not. They're like, oh, we have this thing. Oh, it doesn't look like your phone, which you're already using. You already know how to use that. And if you have the laptop or you have the trackpad, and look at Chachi. He doesn't. You're not on an OS very often. And you're sitting there doing the pinch thing on my trackpad to zoom in on Lady Gaga. Earlier,
I needed to make it bigger. I know the command to do so. Because I use both interfaces.
Which is amazing, because it's such a natural instinct to do that, too, which is great about the touch thing.
Well, I needed to make it bigger. I know how to make it bigger. I made it bigger. It's like across the interface.
It makes sense. Like, well, this works on the phone with the big Apple logo. Why does it work on the computer with the big Apple logo on it?
Right.
Just makes sense. Versus versus where the start button go.
Yeah.
In the long run. But maybe this Windows 8 is just on the front of this. Just not enough of us have had a Windows 7 phone in order to learn everything before we...
Nobody has had a Windows.
Nobody! I have not seen... No, I have seen one in the wild. Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
There's a couple people at work that have them. One of the things I'd be interested in seeing, though, is they're talking about how there's going to be this huge transition for laptop and desktop users because it's meant to be a touch interface, whatever. You know what? Like, you're talking about transitioning from the phone to the computer... In the Apple world, you know what? There's a webcam in almost everybody's computer now, for the most part. Give them the option to use the webcam and make it like the Kinect on the Xbox. People figured out how to use Metro on the Xbox. Why can't they figure out how to use Metro on a desktop?
Wrestling Revolution, Zero there in the chat room there. He says people were scared to engage new technologies out of the box. Metro should be introduced to the public with touch-based computers first to get people on the idea of the interface before you shoot it out to the common man. Yeah, that's the problem. Because I'm sorry, no matter what they're doing with these touchpads, with HP's touch computers, which will be the perfect thing, but for this, by the way, is those touch. As it is, I keep wanting to touch my, my laptop screen or the giant iMac screen at my one job or anything like that. I
disagree.
The problem is most people don't have that yet.
Right. As much as the tech support in me wants to agree with his way of doing things, I can't agree with that.
Okay.
No, you release it for everyone, throw it at them, make them use it, and they'll learn. without asking questions.
Kind of like the Apple philosophy.
Right.
Well, the
They'll
other
learn.
side of that is they'll either learn or they'll walk away and never look back.
Right. And either way,
So what's the risk? What's the kind of risk assessment there? You know, what percentage are going to walk away to an Apple computer, and can we swallow that in order to have a better thing the next generation?
Well, I don't think businesses will walk away from it. They can't right now, and
businesses won't use Metro.
Yeah, businesses won't upgrade.
Right.
No. We just upgraded to Windows 7. So, A, there's no way we're going to go ahead and just jump ship to Windows 8 already.
Yeah.
And B, even when and if we upgrade to Windows 8, it'll be with Metro or without Metro, or we won't do it at all.
And I think that's the question. You look at the businesses that are on Vista or XP. God, I hope there isn't a business still on Vista. I mean, I hope that got resolved. Or there's probably
No, we weren't even
probably already on XP.
We weren't even on Vista.
Yeah,
We
there's
went
too many
from
problems.
XP to 7.
It's too many problems.
Yeah.
So let's presume you are on XP, and then you have to jump to Metro. You're like, well, we got to do something because they're going to start because support's going to get cut here in the next year, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost the point you have to do something for security's sake. You know, and Microsoft is pushing you to do that. So what do you do? I mean, you have to at least be reading up on this since you were in IT. What would you do if you were like, we have XP, we have to freaking do this?
You don't have to do it, though.
Okay.
Yep.
Update Office as far as you can, and then you patch it.
Mhm.
I mean, you install whatever you have to install to make it work with the rest of the world around you, and then from there, you use it.
Mhm.
I mean, the only reason we upgraded is because we upgraded our computers.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the software itself. We were completely fine with the software.
Yeah.
Everything was. Go ahead.
We're using under the end user license agreement. Microsoft allows you to downgrade. So we buy Windows 7 licenses with all our PCs, and then we're throwing XP on them. Now that means we have to make sure that we buy hardware that still has XP drivers, but it works out. Now, what I'm seeing is a shift in technology, and it's going towards the consumer. So if the consumer picks up 8, I could see us driving to 8. If the consumer a year, 2, 3 down the road, we haven't even rolled out 7 yet, and we're trying to get that out there.
And
But
at least
it's going to depend on what the consumer does, and that's what we're seeing in our mobility space. Is we're following the consumer because we're consumer driven. So all of our 10,000 mobile users pay for their own device, their own monthly fees to their carrier, and they pay for everything. Heck, the BlackBerry they actually paid the $100 connection license that RIM charges. That for the 8,000 users we had at one point, we could have probably gotten it a discount down pretty far, but the users were willing to absorb the cost. They paid for it, and we brought up a server.
I think we may have mentioned last week, but since we have you on here, because you're somebody that deals with BlackBerry and Chachi, I know you do still too. Have you guys seen the new BlackBerry 10 that they were showing off last week?
I didn't get invited. They came in and kind of met with us on it, and we kind of said, we're not really interested. We've had 8,000 devices. We're consumer driven. Bring your own device. We're seeing those numbers cut by over 25% within, I think it's been probably a year and a half of allowing iPhone and Android devices. So unless something happens with the device, I don't see consumers buying it. They're not releasing till after Christmas because they don't want to deal with the marketing campaign and the cost of marketing. Then they said that they're also not going to lower the price of the handset because they think that they have a high quality product that deserves to be paid with $199 for the device.
Does everybody else agree with that?
Right. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Now is the time Microsoft could actually do something with the Windows Phone. Drop your price down to $25 a phone, and people coming off BlackBerry contracts might pick up your device. If it's all about price point, because that's what I see in a lot of Android devices, a lot of the people on the Android devices are walking into the store and they're saying, okay, I can pay for the newest iPhone, I can pay $199. For the newest Android, I could pay $99. And now you throw Microsoft in the mix. Okay, they're throwing devices out at I think $49.99. Mm-hmm. Nokia's given a kickback to the carriers. That I think at one point in time, for every Windows phone that a person in a store sold, that person got, I think it was like $10 from Nokia. So I mean, start selling those devices. People will pick it up because it's cheap.
And it seems to be the time. 7 seemed to be like, hey, here's something different. And as it is, I don't like how they kind of cut everybody off that had 7 and said, you're not getting updated. You're going to kind of get a half-ass 7.5, I think it was. They'll have some of the features of 8, but not really. So I feel like they really left their early adopters that were all gung-ho for Windows Phone out in the cold. But if you're going to see them do something with it, I think it's going to be this Windows 8 generation. It's pretty much, they're going to do it or bust. Since BlackBerry's only really aiming at number 3, I think Microsoft can give them a run for their money. So yeah.
Still look at that, and I had an old Windows Mobile device or Windows Pocket PC, and you look at that, and there's companies out there like FedEx.
Yeah,
they have, I think, over 100,000 of those devices, and they still have to buy them today.
Wow.
All their scanning, all those wands, started with a Pocket PC.
Yeah, that's right. That was always the platform you see on those things.
Comcast uses Palm.
They use Palm.
Yeah.
How does that even support? It's not even a company anymore. I mean, I guess HP would take over those contracts, but still.
Right.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Somebody's still manufacturing those. It has, just to meet that demand. You got a client that big.
Yeah.
But speaking of, we get hey, if you've been sick of iPhone stuff, we are Microsofting the crap out of you this week.
We are Microsofting the crap out of you. Hey, can we bring up
what? I was going to talk
about Lady Gaga.
Oh, no. I have one more Microsoft.
Oh,
you jumped the gun on me. Oh, I have to talk about it.
But it's sad Lady Gaga.
All right, sad Lady Gaga. Why? She is so sad.
So sad.
Because she's lost over 65,000 fans on Facebook.
So sad.
There was a purge recently, apparently, where they got rid of a lot of. I think Twitter.
I've been sitting on this picture for the past 15 minutes.
You've been like, I can't wait for Lady Gaga. So apparently there was a big purge on Facebook. They excised a lot of the fake accounts, stuff like that. They started cracking down a bit. And so Mashable there had on top of the wonderful sad Lady Gaga picture there. Josh, can we see that one more time?
Yeah. Hold on. I think
that needs to come up along with this list. So they have the top 10 losses of fans in Facebook. Lady Gaga, like I said, number 3 was 65,000 fans. Rihanna, number 4 was 49. Shakira, 48. We go Akon, Justin Bieber, Mafia Wars, Michael Jackson at 36,000. Enrique Iglesias at number 10. On the other side of that, number 2. Who do you think the number 2 is? Oh, you have the list up there. Never mind.
The list is there, buddy.
Cityville at number 2, and at number 1 was Texas Hold'em Poker with 198,000 fans lost.
It's funny. Farmville lost 0.
How did Farmville lose 0? How does that even make sense?
It doesn't.
Where does it say 0? Is it
doesn't.
In the story?
I'm just according to this list.
You can tell they moved on from Farmville now. Cityville is kind of like the latest one, right? I don't know. You're in the gaming sector, sir. I don't follow that.
I'm sorry.
I know you probably hardly consider that.
I don't play Facebook games because Facebook games are
what I'm really
not games at all.
Really curious. What's going to happen when Twitter does the same thing? As it is, there's news about.
And that means I'm going to drop below 1,000, and I'm going to be sad.
I always tell people is like because I'm about 1,100 followers. I think I'm like really seriously. I probably am half that. I don't expect that half of those are real people.
I would just like to point out that Wrestling Revolution in the chat room said, does it even make sense to keep following Michael Jackson? And I was going to say the same exact thing, and I just let it go.
They keep putting stuff out there.
I know.
There's like, this is the point
Tupac.
where like, this is, Michael Jackson, you thought Tupac was big at Tupacing? Michael Jackson is going to be the biggest Tupac you've ever seen.
Michael Jackson's going to Tupac the hell out of this.
Yeah, he's going to Tupac the out of it. He's gonna be a hologram at Disney redoing the entire Captain Zeo thing. Zeo, was it? Yeah, whatever that was. They're gonna release a new video game. There's gonna be like Moonwalker Online. There's gonna be how many cuts, him duetting with like Justin Bieber or something. They're gonna, trust me, they're gonna Tupac the crap out of it. So
I like how that's the new verb. Anyhow, we can move on to more Microsoft news.
It wasn't terribly exciting after something like that, though.
I know.
The big news there is Google is surpassing Microsoft as far as market share. I only know that means they're bigger. But still, that's
No, they're not passing market share. They're passing market value.
Market value. I'm sorry. I'm not a financial person.
So if you look at one of the interesting things is if you look at Google's stock price, and I could be completely off on this, but from my understanding of it is if you look at Google's stock price, I think it was in the 700s,
okay,
which is above Apple, but their market cap. Apple's at 661, but their market cap's at 619 billion. Google's at 756. Their market cap's at 250 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a little less than half of
It's
Google's a little
yeah.
less than half of Apple. Microsoft's at 248 billion. So at the end of the day, Microsoft stock went up, Google went down, and it looks like the cap's down.
Hold on,
all it pretty much means is I think it's how much cash is they have access to.
What are you doing there?
I want to show this guy.
Okay, this guy in the bow tie?
Yeah.
Well, everybody that works in the real newsy news has to have a bow tie like that.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's like that, just like the guy from the newsroom.
Hold on, check this guy out.
Okay. All right, the audio are going to hate us for this. All right, so describe this guy.
It disappears really quick, but he is an old guy, barely any hair, wearing a purple bow tie and thick black glasses.
That's the style.
Yeah.
That's the style. He's still stuck in the 70s.
He is.
It's all right.
A big purple bow tie.
Big.
And he's working with this mid 30-year-old chick. Sorry, go ahead.
That's
I was distracted.
So real quick, market cap is the share price times the number of outstanding shares. So it's pretty much how much everyone's paid for each individual share that's out there. So when you go look at Google, more people have bought their shares at the $700 price point as opposed to Microsoft's, what is it? What did I say it was? S&P, Dow, Facebook, RIM, Google, $30 per share.
Isn't it funny, though? Because we're really, we always compare Microsoft, now Google, and Apple, and they're really in completely different businesses. Microsoft, pretty much, I think you can still call a glorified software company, even though
What do you mean? They have
obviously...
Bing. They're a search company.
What's that?
They have Bing. They're a search company.
Does that count? Does that really count? At the core, they're a software company. They sell licenses. They sell Windows. They sell Office. They sell software. Apple, of course, is a hardware company. They have only reason they have iTunes and upset the music industry is so they can sell you more iPhones and iPods. They make their money right out the door. Versus Google is basically an advertising agency, right? Search is their business, but they're making money off of ads.
Yeah.
We compare these things because we get similar items. We all get phones and touchpads and computers out of these guys now. It's really interesting. They're kind of getting parity with that because now Google has all the hardware.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they're going to become their own entities. They're all trying to create their own ecosystem. I could see them all. Microsoft's going to be a hardware company. They're coming out with a Surface. Yes, there's going to be other OEMs building a Windows 8 tablet, but they're trying to get back into hardware, and they're saying they're getting into hardware because the OEMs are doing a crap job, and no one is buying PCs. They're buying tablets.
Yep.
So I could see, and I would throw. You could get Amazon in there.
Yeah, and they're even more, and they're a brick. They're retail. There was a really good analysis when the last Kindle Fire came out, of course, right before the iPhone announcement. So there's a lot of kind of comparison on, that maybe mythical unicorn that is the iPad mini. But there was that discussion. It was like, whoa, is Apple going to try to meet them if they do a 7-inch at $200 to compete with Amazon Kindle? And I say no, because they're interested in making that money up front and making sure they are, not cutting into, because I think my Amazon sells at a loss every tablet they sell. But they make out because you just opened up a window to their giant retail store. There's actually some stories about guys like Walmart and I think Best Buy actually ditching the Kindles from their stores because they realize, oh crap, this is competition. Because everybody's going to buy everything through this thing, and they pretty much just like the Trojan horse right into our shelves, their entire store. So, wildly different, but we still look at them for very similar services or applications.
One of the things I was impressed with on the new Kindle, the whatever it is, 4G device or the one that's enabled with AT&T, you get a 250 meg a month cap included in that. Mm-hmm. But anything you get from the Amazon store or store in their cloud doesn't count against your cap. Imagine if Apple or Google went to the carriers and said, okay, we're going to give you our devices, and your users, you're not going to charge them against their cap if they put it on Google Drive or if they put it in iCloud. I mean, to me, that's a brilliant gimmick, and I don't even know how AT&T decided they were going to allow this.
Isn't that, like, I know there was, one of the cable providers, I think, was actually being sought after for net neutrality potential stuff because they were doing something like that, because I think they're straight. Xfinity I think is one of these. It was
Comcast and Xfinity.
Yeah, if you use Xfinity, it does not count against your cap.
Right, and think about it. If you're Comcast, I'm sure from the telco to your system, you're pretty much, you're not hardwired, but you have a direct pipe. Yeah. Where you're routing that all internally across your network versus paying for that outside on the internet. Cloud.
It's sending it through AOL versus sending it through the World Wide Web.
Right.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Rob?
No.
No, this one. I hadn't heard from you for a while, so just want to make sure you're still good over there. So, all right. What time is it? Let's squeeze one more in here. Actually, we can probably squeeze both of these here real quick. Chilla, tell us about this home automation you got linked here.
So, one of the things I was looking at, and I know you're well aware of it, but is automating stuff around the house, from the light switches, controlling everything through a phone while I'm away from the house, looking at different stuff in that realm. So one of the things I found today would actually remind me of Sorgatron was the Lockatron, and it's a device that I can put. It requires minimal installation. I literally shove it on the back of my deadbolt, and I can unlock my deadbolt from outside. And one of the things they're saying, if you're using an iPhone 4S, iPhone 5, it's pretty much anything with Bluetooth 4.0, it's going to sense, much like some of the cars do with your car keys, and then when you walk up to the door, it's going to unlock.
Let's see, there's a video there. Let's see how this goes. I don't know how much they're going to show here. Oh, wow. That's... Well, it's kind of cool.
So, I mean, I thought it was a pretty neat idea. Is it worth $150? I don't know.
This is for the people that are doing the crazy home automation thing, already. Well, at least, like, maybe the tweener people, And,
I'll be honest, I would look at, like, the new Nest 2.0 is coming out. My main thing, and the reason I started looking at all the home automation stuff was I actually got my money back investment by saving money on electricity along those lines. So I don't see a big gain in this. I could see spending $200 on a Nest that's going to modify or monitor my heating and air conditioning and change the temperature based on activity and if I'm home, and it learning from that, and it's going to continue to reduce my cost. Something like this, I think it's cool. I like it. If I was one of those people that constantly locked my keys in the house, I would probably get it because I don't let my cell phone usually leave my side. Yeah, but I don't see...
Isn't that sad? Like, we're better with keeping our cell phone on us than our keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Well-
something, and I think the people that would have something like this installed for their phone, that's really your audience there. So maybe not us, but
Well, they're
that's
showing here. Well, I'll get it back. But you don't even need a smartphone to do it.
no.
Yeah, they're showing like a normal, regular Nokia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because you can also text it.
Yeah, you just text the device.
That's the cool thing. If you locked your keys and your cell phone in your house,
So
you could actually
if we're double absent-minded, then
you could find someone with an old Razor flip phone and text your house to unlock the door.
Are you even wearing pants at that point? I mean, honestly.
I like that you checked.
I mean, if you run out of your house and you forget your cell phone and your keys, are you seriously even wearing pants at that moment? I mean, that's like a Fred Flintstone type of situation where you go outside to get your newspaper and the dog kicks the door shut and miraculously it just locks. I mean, at that point, you're outside in a bathrobe.
And wait! I just kept the video playing and looked at. Is these the same people that did the banana keyboard?
I don't.
Because there's just I don't have the audio on, but they just showed the banana keyboard. That I think was a Kickstarter project a few months back.
Oh, are you talking about the Makey?
I think so. I have it up here. I can't show anybody, but yeah, where they have like the diode stuck into the bananas and they're like playing the piano on the bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, the product wasn't actually a banana keyboard. Just so
I don't
we're
know
clear.
what it's called. I just
It's
that's
a
what I
banana
know
that's
it
a
is.
keyboard.
It was like, oh, cool. They're
It's-
playing the banana keyboard.
Yeah, it's the Makey. It's a thing that lets you turn devices into resistive things. Which, by the way, if you're thinking about, is a total hack and a piece of crap.
So don't go for it. So
Don't go for
so
it, yeah.
hopefully this isn't the same thing.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. All right, real quick. That's another big discussion. We're gonna have to hold some of these over. I think we're gonna have to wrap at that point. Oh, we started late. No, we're wrapping. It's that time.
We're rapping.
We're wrapping.
Yeah,
I think-
because I mean, you got like 4 minutes.
I got like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Those are big discussions right there. I'll tell you what, I want to try to do.
Not really.
Did I even do? Well, no.
I can honestly say that one of them isn't a big discussion.
Tell me which one is not
Because
a big
we don't
discussion.
care.
Wait, which one?
Bing and Clout.
Yeah. We don't
Oh,
care.
I didn't even look at that one.
Yeah, we just don't care.
Cloud is now integrated in your Bing search, guys, just like Facebook has been. So you can apply and add a number that doesn't really have any merit to your Bing searches.
I wasn't going to use Bing before.
This is not going to help.
I'm definitely not going to use Bing now.
See, now that's what they have that the Bing versus Google, the was the Bing It challenge, Bing It On challenge, or whatever it is.
Whatever.
That you can do. If you go to Bing.com, I think they have the links. It's all over my Hulu ads. They strip everything away. So it's like, oh, great, the search was good. Whatever you're deciding is your merit on there. My site came up. This one wins. I don't know. But then you like get into it and realize all the junk going on, whether it's all the Google stuff crap, if that bugs you when now it's telling you people's birthdays, and you go to Bing and now there's all this Facebook everything going on. So I don't think that's a really good test.
And I was impressed with the Bing app for the iPad. It had a really nice
I hear good
interface.
things.
So Yahoo, if you're out there and you're going to make a comeback, check out their app.
There you go. Bring it on. All right, real quick. Valve launches non-Steam software titles or non-game software titles on Steam. 6 programs, 10% off through the week. I kind of like this. This is a nice alternative to apparently nobody's showing up for the Windows App Store, so at least there's this going on. And hopefully some of these are like cross-platform and there's that ability to. Because I'm really kind of sold on the app experience, this idea I don't have to keep disks or license keys in my email forever, or anything like that, and somebody like Steam pretty much takes care of it. It's all Art Rage Studio Pro, Game Maker Studio, 3D Code, 3D Mark Vantage, 3D Mark 11, which are pretty much gaming or gaming development related software from what I know of those. Camera Bag 2, I don't know what that is. I presume some kind of photo app. So, and they will. This is also interesting. They are compatible with the Steamworks features, including automatic updates and saving work files to the Steam cloud.
Ooh.
So that could be handy. So it's kind of like you're auto Dropboxing things across all your platforms.
Yeah.
With
Well,
things.
and I could see. I would rather see them do something like Office, or I'm worried that. I mean, here, if I'm going to render 3D in the cloud, I don't know how quick that's going to go.
Well, work files for 3D actually, I believe they're pretty much mathematics. So I don't think the actual work files are that much
Okay.
for 3D. Much like the actual work files for like Final Cut are really just a database, and they're not large at all. I saw a really good video about them Dropboxing a project back and forth, and the thing was only like, a few megabytes, I think, because it seriously is just, mathematics. Just the small information, and just references in that case large video files, and that's the problem. So, all right. On that note, I'm getting the high sign. Hi. Guys, this has been the
It wasn't
awesome.
the high sign.
I don't know.
It was the wheel.
I know it's the wheel. It's the rap wheel. Yeah.
The rap wheel.
I've heard it called that before.
It's like basketball traveling.
Yeah, it is.
Traveling. I've been watching. I do football, so I've been watching the ref calls a lot. They have that in that. Well, that's encroachment, I believe. And then they do this, and I feel like they need to do this. Okay,
no,
I'm done with that. Yeah.
This is false start.
This is false start.
Yeah.
And
False start.
then this is encroachment,
That's
right?
encroachment,
So that's different.
Yeah.
I always thought it was the same thing.
Yeah. No.
Learning there's a difference.
Yes.
So that's what happens. We have to make sure you get that shot of the ref.
Right.
Hey, this is the AwesomeCast. Thanks a lot for joining us. You can join us live in the chat room, just like AJ, just like Riz, just like Hot Wheels, and all the rest I mentioned before. WrestleFan, Chilla. And Chilla's in here like every week, even when he's not on the show. He's hanging out in the chat room.
That's a cool place to be.
Correcting us most often.
I try to put stuff in there that brings meaning, but not correct.
I didn't mean that as a spiteful. Well, he keeps correcting us thing. I mean it's helpful. Like, please help, keep doing it, because I know I talk out of my ass like every once in a while. No, most of the time. That's at live.sorgatronmedia.com. You can join us at 7 p.m. Eastern time. There, we're on Twitter at AwesomeCast. We're at awesomecast.com, which still isn't fixed. I couldn't figure it out. So just go to sorgatronmedia.com if you want to see the episode, actually.
Yeah.
We're on iTunes. We're on the Roku box, on the Blip TV app. We're on YouTube as well, so you can check us out wherever you want. Stitcher app as well on your iPhone and Android devices. And drop us a line at contact@awesomecast.com, and Facebook, Google+, and like I said, Twitter at AwesomeCast. There it is, all right there for the video people. Thank you, Chilla, for joining us at Chilla. Anything else you want to plug or anything else you want to throw out on?
Oh, no, I don't want to throw out anything else, but shouldn't you be plugging PodCamp?
If I go down to my notes to plug the things that are going on, thank you for reminding me. PodCamp Pittsburgh is coming up in a few weeks. At podcamppittsburgh.com, you can get that info. So go check that out. There's actually, as of this taping, tomorrow night, there is a panel discussion in conjunction with that, leading up to it. It's going to be kind of an old media meets new media thing. It's going to be down at the Post-Gazette building at 5:30 for the networking and the panel discussion afterwards. And they got a few people from, I know there's obviously people from the Post-Gazette, I think some people from some of the news stations, but you can get all the information for that at podcamppittsburgh.com. If you want to learn Pinterest and you're in the Pittsburgh area, you can join us next Wednesday at the Carnegie Library main branch. My wife will be teaching that one, because I am still trying. I can't. I've been doing Pinterest, but
I'll ask you after the show.
Okay. Are you going to show up and learn Pinterest, sir?
No.
I was going to say, what's there to learn?
Exactly.
Rob Daler Creta, he's at robjdlc.com. At robjdlc is a wonderful Twitter account. He does a lot of Instagrams.
And he's also on the Fancy.
I click every Instagram that I see because I know it's going to be tremendous.
He is a Beats wearing, fancy using tech genius.
Oh, Jesus.
We're going to have to put that on his tagline from now
Oh
on.
my God. I think
It's everything Rob hates in one sentence.
Oh, not everything. There's a lot.
We can't fit that on his marquee.
That is most of the stuff Rob hates in a sentence. Some of the stuff. A couple of the things that Rob hates.
A small portion of the
Yes.
things that I hate.
His coffee table book isn't out yet.
Not yet. No. You know why? Because I hate coffee table books.
It's a book. Coffee table book. That's a coffee table.
Shut up.
No?
All right, are we done?
We're done. We're done. Guys, thanks a lot. Thanks to our awesome chat room. They've been bumping all night. Thank you. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week.